In this section, I will teach you how to clearly and stylishly draw your clothes so that it can be understood by you and by others. Now, fashion drawing is one way to show your ideas. Say, for instance, sometime you'll have your own studio. Your staff will need to know your ideas. So by that, by fashion drawing, you can show them those ideas. Now, one thing that we have to remember is that fashion belongs on a human body. And so we must first take a look at the human body and the figure and the proportions of it before we can even begin to draw clothes. So let's talk about the human figure. The human figure is made up of 8 heads, meaning if I would take the head off of a human figure and place 8 of them high, it would be the distance between the bottom of the feet to the top of the head. Now with a fashion figure, the proportions of it is 9 heads tall. So in other words, if I would take the head off a fashion figure and stack 9 of them, the distance between the bottom of the feet and the top of the head would be 9 heads tall. How are we going to illustrate that? The first thing we can do to learn how to draw the fashion figure is draw a proportional page. We're going to start up at line 0, which is right here, and we're going to begin to draw the head. Now the head isn't a watermelon or an oval that some people draw typically. It's more like an egg shape. So I'm going to start by drawing 1/2 of the head. Again, starting on line 0 and the axis, I'm going to draw 1/2 of a head. And it's going to end on line 1. Now what I need to do is I need to draw the other side of the head. Now the front and back views are symmetrical, so what I need to do is I need to make sure that I draw a symmetrical side to the side I just drew. Now I'm drawing kind of dark. You can draw lighter because at the end of this we're going to round off the edges and flesh the figure out, but I'll explain more about that later. So there you have it. That's our front view figure. Now you'll look at it and it might look a bit boxy, and that's normal because we've just planned our figure out. What we can do now is what we call fleshing out the figure. And that means we can go and just erase planning marks that we've made. We can go over and retrace lines that are slightly a bit wiggly or a bit off and make our figure look nice and crisp. Okay, there you have it. We've covered the front view, the back view, and the side view. And we learned the proportions of the human figure. Now what I want you to do is I want you to continue to practice this. Now, you don't really have to sit down and practice hours at a time. In fact, that's not really good. You'll just get frustrated and bored. What I suggest you do is each day practice maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Draw each figure and learn the proportions. And what I want you to do is I want it to become second nature to you so that you can draw the figure without this proportion page.
How to Fashion Design with Bob Martin will give you the confidence you need to design original collections and communicate them to your potential clients.